Welcome back to Morning Glory. It is Thursday, 6:52. It's a brand new world, ladies and gentlemen, because Donald Trump, in case you missed it earlier this week, has won not only the presidency of the United States of America, but he's won the Senate, he's won the House of Representatives, he's won a bunch of states in terms of governors of their various different hues and cries. He's won all sorts of legislatures all around America, and he has won the right, basically, to run America as he wants to. Jennifer has this to say.
Morning, Mike. Just want to say I am so pleased for the American people that they now have a brilliant president again, and it's fantastic. I'm just envious. I'm so green with envy because we have got the Muppet Show for our government. I just wish we had someone like Trump governing us. Come on, Nigel Farage. That's what I say, Mike. Come on, Nigel. Step up.
Jennifer, listen, maybe that's what's going to happen. I mean, you know, Nigel Farage thinks that he may be the next Prime Minister in 2025, if not 2029, rather. He may well be right about that. This from Jill, who says, "Morning, Mike. I couldn't wait for your show to start this morning. It's going to be truly glorious. I haven't seen such a meltdown on mainstream media since the Brexit result. Actually, I think it's worse than even then. Seriously, it's outrageous, pathetic. Accept democracy and move on. Peace to all," says Jill from Berkshire. And Keith sent me this. I had missed this, actually. Tom Slater's here. Carol Vorderman's predictions for the American election. First up, my American election prediction is this. Harris by a shock landslide. Trump sentenced for his 34 convictions in jail by 2025. And then subsequently, today, America completes voting. So this was obviously just this week. More than half of those registered have already cast their votes. Women are turning out to vote Harris in their tens of millions because their freedoms are their most important issue. And then, in capital letters, Harris will win.
Who's going to break it?
Sorry, Carol. You know, maybe back to Wales for a while. You know, you settle yourself down, you calm yourself. You know. And let's talk about Kerry Badenoch because she was first up yesterday in Prime Minister's questions, and I thought she did pretty well, didn't she?
No, definitely. She was particularly good on pressing the government, kind of punching the bruise that is David Lammy in this new US administration, just by reading out what he said.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to come back to haunt him, as much as, you know, Trump is known to enjoy people having to kind of prostrate themselves in front of him.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just the tweets. He was talking about protesting and chaining themselves to the gates of Downing Street when Trump was due to give a state visit. This is beyond student politics nonsense. And it has been fascinating over the past few years to watch even the supposedly kind of centrist people in the Labour Party just lose their minds and act like this. But she was very effective at pushing that, and it's a reminder that I think PMQs could well become watchable again.
It will be,
just
I think,
because of how much he can hold.
And also, I'd said before this, we're going to look at the clip in a minute, that he's not good at handling women. He doesn't know how to. Remember Rosie Duffield said he got a problem with women. Let's have a look at what happened.
I would like to start by congratulating President-elect Trump on his impressive victory this morning. The Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary met him in September. Did the Foreign Secretary take that opportunity to apologise for making derogatory and scatological references, including, and I quote, "Trump is not only a woman-hating, neo-Nazi sympathising sociopath, he is also a profound threat to the international order"? And if he did not apologise, will the Prime Minister do so now on his behalf?
The Foreign Secretary and I did meet President-elect Trump just a few weeks ago for dinner for about a couple of hours, and we discussed a number of issues of global significance.
The Prime Minister did not distance himself from the remarks made by the Foreign Secretary, and I'm very sure that President Trump will soon be calling to thank him for sending all of those North London Labour activists to campaign for his opponent.
I mean, just brilliant, wasn't it? And Lammy there has got the cojones to still start shouting back. You know, he's off to South Africa, I think, now. So there's more time abroad now than he's ever spent in his entire life. He seems to think that being Foreign and Commonwealth Secretary entitles him to just travel all the time.
No, maybe it's good that he gets out of the way during the next couple of days, at least from Keir Starmer's perspective. But this is what we're going to see every week, because remember all that talk about how great Keir Starmer was in PMQ?
Yeah.
He's terrible at it.
He was never good.
He's stiff,
no, but he's
wooden.
Totally.
And I think now
we've
you've got
been seeing
someone...
Donald Trump. We were able to spend 2 hours with him, and we talked about a great many global issues. Shut up.
He just makes people doze off. Whereas Badenoch has always been really good at dispatch.
Yeah.
Really good at just upending the opposition, really good at putting them on the defensive. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be watchable again.
Yeah, and more great news from the budget from Rachel Reeves, right? 2 items this morning in the Daily Mail. Bridget Phillipson was at number 10 yesterday, the Secretary of State for Education. It turns out that the tuition fee rise that Labour have instigated, putting fees up to £9,500, is going to cost the Treasury £90 million a year, because it's going to generate loads of debt for loads more people who will never pay it back. So you're kind of going, so actually what you're doing here is creating a bigger black hole than you had. And then my favourite one, the Foreign Office is urging private schools to discount fees for diplomats abroad whose children are in British boarding schools. So having decided to put VAT on boarding school fees and private school fees, the diplomats are now saying, do you mind if we don't have to pay that? Huh? I mean...
And it sort of undoes the kind of sense that they're trying to make this sort of class, warfare point in a very mild-mannered way.
Right.
Because otherwise this Labour Party has no class politics about it. They want to do this kind of studenty, anti-private school thing.
Yeah.
To then say,
but they've forgotten who goes there.
Could the diplomats?
The diplomats, yeah, and they've forgotten about the children of high-ranking army officers and also other members of the military who are deployed overseas. They also put their children in boarding schools, but they're going to get hammered, and they don't actually get paid very much. So no doubt there'll be more exemptions coming through. So I mean, all of this. They just haven't really... Nobody sat in front of them and said, do you realise that this might happen if you do that, or this might happen? Finally, let's end with Christmas. And I know it's a bit early. People will probably go mad. Go, don't talk about Christmas. The Sun have got Amazon's biggest presents coming up this Christmas. You know what the top 10 most wanted Christmas presents are? Led by a Play-Doh pizza delivery scooter. Which means that, the kids of today are actually growing up going, see that guy that brings the pizzas on his Deliveroo scooter? I want to be that guy. So they don't want to be on the X Factor anymore. Don't be footballers. They want to be delivery drivers.
Well, it's nothing if not attainable. If they do want to do that.
I suppose so. I don't know. Meanwhile, you can also get a blue-orange taco cat goat cheese pizza game. Pizza's obviously figuring very high in people's brain cells.
What's going on with these kids?
I really don't know. I don't know. And then there's one that says a rainbow high watercolour and create DIY fashion doll. I'm just glad my kids have grown up. That's all I can say. Can't be bothered with all that. Anyway, Tom, good to see you. Thank you very much indeed.